Hey there, Speed Nasty family, it's Liam again for another episode of Speed Nasty Garage, and today I'm going to be doing the rear sway bar and the rear brakes, like new brake discs on the Supra, because I've got brakes that have been sitting in here, brake discs, not the actual calipers, that have been sitting in here for a while. I'll show you. Up. These bad boys. Nice, like slotted discs. And I've been sitting here for ages, and luckily they've been in there wrapping, so they're going to be nice and good. And I've got some pads as well, some QFM pads that'll be going in there as well. But first, I have a story time. And it takes us way back to when I first got the engine put into my car. The mechanic that put the engine in the car, well, let's just say he did a hack job, because that's a nice way of saying it. Anyway, I got the car back and the speedo didn't work, and there was a cable in the boot, which was this. Now this is a speedo cable, you would think. Well, it's most of a speedo cable. Now the part that connected to here, I received in two pieces. It had been cut. If it focus. There we go. The part that connected to here had been cut so that he could get it out of the car instead of just disconnecting it like a normal fucking human being. So I went out and spent $220 on a new speedo cable, only to find out that this one that I had was actually going to be fine all along. I could have spent like $12 and got an adapter, but now I have a speedo cable that should work. So this is the part that's supposed to be connected. So like here, mine connects here at this little connector bit, and then it goes up to another connector, and that plugs into the back of my dash. So now I should have working speedo when I plug that in. But that's my story time. Story time where Liam spends too much money on something he doesn't really need, because someone else fucked it up in the first place. Anyway, we're going to go do the sway bar on the back of the car and get that done. I'm also going to be ordering some carburetor rebuild kit for my motorcycle, for this thing that's been sitting here like unloved for far too long. I'll be buying a carburetor rebuild kit for that, so that I can rebuild the carbs, obviously, and hopefully get this thing running again. But for now, let's go get this sway bar done, hey? Alright, hopefully that's focusing. This is the little plastic crappy thing that is attached to the rear sway bar. I don't know what its actual purpose is, apart from like obviously making it nice and stiff, because it's up and down is fine, but this is 80s plastic, so we're going to be removing that with a 14mm socket. I believe it's 14mm on both sides. And once we've removed both of those from both ends, then we should be able to undo the sway bar itself. Now I've put some tires under the car this time, because I had a bunch of people saying to me that I should have tires under there to protect myself if the car was going to fall. Now I don't think the car is going to fall, but just to appease them, I've put some under there. So the internal hex that I was just praising before has stripped itself, and I can no longer hold this. It just spins now. It has stripped because it's old and rusty, and this just spins around the internal hex instead of actually loosening, which is not what's supposed to happen. So, now I can't get this out. Cool. There we go. So, reinforcements have been brought in. So now that you've used tools that you probably shouldn't have used to get the thing loose on your car, you can start working on the sway bar. Nice. Alrighty. So now that you've separated your end links from your sway bar at the back, you need a 12mm socket to get to the bits that hold the sway bar on, the little bushes kind of things. You can't really see them because my camera doesn't get low enough to get under the car on that stand. I don't really want to drag it under here and then have to set it back up again. But there's two of them, one here, one there, on the other side of the diff cradle. Now, unfortunately, on the A70, the fuel tank gets in the way, so it's a real pain in the ass to get to. Why is there grease and grot in that? Anyway, it's a real pain in the ass to get to them. So you can get to the bottom one fairly easy, but the top one, you're going to have to use a 12mm spanner to get to, which is highly annoying because as it is, there's little to no space in here. God, there's so many spider webs under here. Left, yep. I wonder if I can dirt in my eyes. Yeah, no, that's not going to fit. Alright, so you have to use a spanner, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Right, it's finally done. We got it. Now this would probably be much easier if you undid the top bolts on those end links, but I am being a bit little lazy. Let's push it out like that. And we're good. It's out. Finally. So this is the new sway bar versus the old sway bar. Now it's not significantly thicker like the front sway bar is compared to the old one, but it is thicker, marginally. And that will increase stiffness in the rear ends. Obviously I've got new end links for it, especially, well, luckily I've got new end links for it because I had to cut the shit out of that one. That one's all nice and cold now. So yeah, those end links are right there, same as the front. So we're gonna get those on and we're gonna get cracking so I can get this done and get the brakes on by the end of the day. Hell yeah. Right. Now looking at the instructions here, you can see that, I mean, I did this kind of thing in the previous video anyway. You can see the different holes and what they mean. So the furthest out is gonna be your softer setting. The furthest in is going to be your harder setting. There we go, we're in focus now. So soft to hard. We're going to be setting the rear on this to hard, and then we'll soften it up as we need to adjust oversteer and understeer with the car. Alright, there you go. Learn yourself something. Okay, so after you put the sway bar on backwards the first time and had to take it off and do it again, it's on. And now I just got to put the end links on, which is pretty much the same as last time, so I'm not really going to explain how to do it. If you haven't seen me do it previously, watch my other video, which I'll put down in the description below. It's my previous video. I'll get that done, and then hopefully we'll have enough time to work on these brakes and get these discs on the back. Mint. So while this installation has been mostly stress-free in regards to the hardware itself, one problem I did face is that, because these are painted afterwards, obviously to protect the metal, some of the holes were a little hard to get stuff through, so I had to hammer this one. You can't really see it. Let me see if I can adjust the brightness, get it a little brighter in there. I'll bring it in closer so you can see. So this one here, right here, I had to hammer the threads through that hole, which didn't damage the threads, but because there was so much paint on the inside, it stripped out all the paint on the inside of that, because it wouldn't go through before. So just one thing to keep in mind with painted sway bars is that you may run into some issues with clearancing depending on how big the holes are. Now Whiteline has drilled these pretty much to a perfect size for the bolt to go through. So the extra paint, the extra like 10,000th of a millimeter of paint that was on there was just enough to stop the bolt going through. So it required a little bit, teeny weeny bit of percussive maintenance. Yeah. Alright, so we are once again running out of light, because this sway bar took longer than expected. The front ones I had to beat the living shit out of the lower control arm to get it to fit, and the rear ones I had to go buy a new saw blade for my reciprocating saw so I could cut a bolt to get it off, and then I put it on upside down, so it took longer. But anyway, we've got it done. They are fitted both left and right. On the hardest setting, which will increase, so the hardest setting on the rear will increase your oversteer, and that'll be fun in this car because oversteer. But we're going to test it, see how it goes, probably take it out to one of the racetracks, see how it goes, and then we can adjust it as we go. It's just undoing that bolt up the top, changing the hole, that's it, done and done. Easy peasy, easy to swap. So I've now got control arm, adjustable end links and brand new sway bars on the front and the rear of the Supra, and that's that for this episode, I think, just because I'm running out of light. So I'll do that in another episode probably next weekend, and I also need to have a look at how I'm going to get this cable up to my speedometer and where it attaches to my gearbox, because I got no idea, but I would like to be able to see what speed I'm doing. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you like and subscribe down below for more episodes in the future, which I will be doing. And if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications anytime I upload a new video. Apart from that, you guys know the drill. I'll see you next time. Stay nasty. Have a good one, guys. See you later.